boom. Wait a minute, just like that. Boom, 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 just like that. A-Dubb Productions, just like that. Like, comment, subscribe, just like that. Boom, wait a minute, just like that. A-Dubb, you ready? Wait a minute.
Hello everybody, what is going on? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to bring you this video. It's gonna be a lot of information, so do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up if you're excited about what I'm about to teach you guys, what I'm about to show you guys. But it's just a testament to how you have to look at professional garments and break things down, because a lot of this stuff that we see out on the professional market, we can make ourselves with the equipment that we have. We just have to look and be able to dissect what it is that we're looking at. So I'm going to help you do that when it comes to football jerseys. All right. So football season is coming up, and I want you guys to utilize your equipment and make a bunch of money. Like I said, like this video if you like it, share it with your friends, and when you start doing it, give me a little bit of props. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. All right. So, all right. When it comes to football jerseys, we know that they sell for a lot of money, and they sell for a lot of money for a reason. And over the years, it seems to me that the quality of the jerseys have been getting lower and lower. But I want to show you guys a few things that I've noticed on the jerseys and why I think that we can make a lot of money making and selling our own jerseys, especially custom jerseys. Okay, so this winter is going to be huge. I know it's going to be huge because I'm showing you guys this tutorial, and I'm sure you guys will see this tutorial and you'll share it with your friends, and you guys will go out and make a bunch of money this football season. All right, so I got a few jerseys in front of me right here. I'm going to switch cameras to show you guys what we got. All right, so right here we got a Hertz jersey. All right, we got Aguilar jersey, old Aguilar jersey, and we got the old Jeffrey jersey. And yeah, that's all we got. All right, so boom. So let's start with this jersey right here, and let's break it down. All right, so what we have is we have a blank jersey, right? We're just talking about this part right here, because this part right here is easy. We can figure that out. If we can figure this part out, we can figure that part out. All right, so this jersey is a rectangle. Right, it's a rectangle on the back with a name on it, and this appears to be screen printed on here, or we can use screen printed transfers. All right, for this, that's what it looks like to me. All right, we're gonna come back to that. All right, now this second jersey right here, same thing. We have a nameplate. Looks like it's slightly different size. This one is taller. This one looks like it's a little bit more narrower, like it's a little less tall, right? But still the same nameplate. And then we have what appears to be a double screen print, because it doesn't seem like this. Actually, it's one layer and then it's another layer, or it might be two layers, another layer. And actually, I think this material right here is what I would call brick vinyl. Not regular brick. Regular brick is kind of thick, but there is this stuff called brick vinyl that I want to do a video on that I haven't done for you guys yet. And what I want you guys to notice is these are two different font types. This font type right here is much more even and uniform. Look at the R. And this font type right here is totally different. It's totally different. So when it comes to what font type you want to use for your jersey, as long as it looks like something that could go on a jersey, you're going to be safe. All right, so it doesn't have to be a specific font type. So don't ask, hey, what fonts are you using? You might see one that you like, so just search to find something that's close to it, but it doesn't have to be the exact font that you see on all the jerseys. You can get creative and use your own font type. Now let's go to the other ones. Okay, this, like I said, this looks like it's a layered. You could layer to create this outline effect, and then have another material on top of it. We're going to go over the materials in a second. Now this one right here is another nameplate, and this is even thinner than both of the other ones. Now this goes back a few years, and you guys can see I see some errors in the embroidery right here. You see some loop stitches, and I bought this from a sporting goods store, right? Like a Lids or something like that. See some loops right here in the embroidery, more loops right here. You see a little bit of the white showing right here. And I bought this years ago professionally, right? So what I see right here is I see like a tackle twill, a twill with an outline satin stitch, but still the same nameplate, right? All right, and now, yeah, that's the three that I want to show you guys. Okay, so now what we just looked at was three different ways that you can make a professional jersey. That all, all these have different price points. I think the one that's twill, the one that's tackle twill with the stitching on it is probably going to be a little bit more expensive. You can see the numbers are stitched on, a little bit more expensive of a jersey right here. You got the double tackle twill right here, and you got the the plate right here with the tackle twill and the stitching, and then this one right here has the plate, and it has what appears to be like a kind of, you guys can't really see it, but the black is a little bit up, a little bit more. It's a little bit up, and then the white is on top of the black, so it's like a layered. Let's talk about how we could do this. Okay, we already know how we could do this. Tackle twill, cut out the letters, satin stitch, stitch it on. All right, now we're gonna go back to this in a second. All right, now this one we have what appears to be a brick puff with a vinyl on top of it, or it could be screen printed on top of that. I don't know exactly how, but that's not important because we're gonna talk about it in a second. And this one appears to be another plate with some screen print or screen printed transfer, or for this you can even use vinyl. You can even use regular vinyl for this, or you can use DTF for this. So there's no rules. Regular vinyl, puff vinyl, brick vinyl. You can use tackle twill by itself, or you can use tackle twill with a stitch, right? This one, the same thing. You can layer the vinyl on top of the plate. And this one right here, obviously tackle twill and make yourself a satin stitch and digitizing, and then go ahead and tack it on. Now, when we're observing how to do this stuff, we don't stop there because we want to learn how to put it on the garment. That's like the most important part, because you can ruin a jersey if you embroider it wrong, like I've done in a previous video. Some of you guys can remember back in the day when I tried to do this and I did it wrong. I was like embroidering directly onto the jersey. But here's what I want you guys to look. Look at this. All right, see this jersey right here? When we're observing stuff, we not only observe the front, but we also observe the inside. So let's look at the inside. On the inside, we're not seeing any letters. We're not seeing any embroidery stitches, right? We're not see this. Do you see the stitch going around the box right here? When we flip on the inside, there's a stitch right here, right? But when we flip on the inside, we're not seeing that stitch. We're seeing a single stitch, right? A single stitch, which means they made the plate and then they sewed it onto the garment. It's a single stitch onto the garment. And this is why I told you guys years ago, for those of you guys who've been watching me for years, you guys know I said on your Brother SE600, right, when I was making all those Brother SE600 videos, I always told you guys to learn how to use your sewing machine because you're going to need it, because it works hand in hand with embroidery. This is a single stitch going all the way around right here on this, right? So they made the plate, then they put a satin stitch on the plate, and in this case it's the same material as the jersey, right? But we can use tackle twill for that, right? And get the same effect. So they made the plate, they put a satin stitch, or a very loose satin stitch for that matter, because you can see the actual stitch. It's not like a tight satin stitch like you see on this jersey. It's not a tight satin stitch like there, but you still got like a certain type of stitch. And again, this stitch right here is different. It's a little bit different from this stitch right here. So again, and it's a little bit different from this stitch right here. So again, there's no rules. There's no rules. So you can like pretty much play around with it. As long as your stitch is fairly loose and not tightly compacted, you can get the same effect that they have. All right, you can get the same effect. Like this is a little bit different of a stitch. This is different of a stitch, and this is more closer to this, but it's still a different stitch. So there's, once again, there's no rules you can be creative and figure out your own style. It's still gonna look good on the jersey. All right, now let's go to back to this jersey right here. Let's look on the inside because we want to see what they use to attach this plate on. What are we seeing on the inside of the jersey? Once again, we see a single stitch. So we know that they made the jersey, they made the plate separate, and then they attached it with a single stitch. All right. And let's look at this one. Let's see what we find with the one that's embroidered with the tackle twill on there. All right, this is like a cloth type of tackle twill. It's more like a denim in here, to be honest. It's more like a denim because it's thicker. It's a little thicker than tackle twill. It's more of a fabric. So this feels like a denim to me. All right, so let's look on the inside to see what they did with this plate. Okay, once again, look at that. It's a single stitch. It's a single stitch. It's not embroidered directly onto the jersey. They made the plate first, and then they sewed the plate onto the jersey. All right. So now that we are in the store looking at garments, we now know how to try to dissect the garment to see how we can mimic what they're doing on a professional level. So what can we do with that? All right. So I have blue jerseys and I have black jerseys. I'm gonna make something real fast to show you guys how an easy way that you can do it. All right, so I went ahead and I created a rectangle in Leonardo Design Studio Pro. All right, so and I cut this out. This is tackle twill. I cut it out on my vinyl cutter, my Romeo. I use a Romeo right here. Use whatever vinyl cutter you have. Links to the products that I'm using will be in the description of this video if you guys want to get anything right here, okay? I greatly appreciate it if you use my link. All right, so this is a piece of tackle twill that I cut out, all right? So get yourself some tackle twill, or if you can find the same exact material of your jersey, you can get that too. You can probably stick it on a cutting mat, and then if use an X-Acto knife to cut out your rectangle or whatever, just measure it out. Stick it on a cutting mat or something like that, and use an X-Acto knife if you want to. But I'm just saying to use your creativity as far as how you're gonna get it, how you're gonna make the actual rectangle with the material that you have, because it doesn't have to be tackle twill. It could be like a satin type of polyester material like they use that's the same color of your jersey and the same material of your jersey if you can find that in stores. And then what we also discovered is we can pretty much use any type of method for applying the name onto the plate. So you can use vinyl, you can use puff vinyl, you can screen print it on there with several layers of screen print so that you get a nice crisp line if you know how to screen print. Or you can use the embroidery method where we cut out our twill letters or our denim letters, right, if you have a laser, right? And then you can put a satin border around it. And once you have your nameplate made, you can then place it on there on the back of your jersey, and then you can press it on there if you have press-on tackle twill, right? Or you can, in this case, this tackle twill has a sticky back. I can stick it on there, and then I can put a single stitch around it. But let's not forget, we're forgetting a step, because like we observed, before they put the rectangle on with the name onto the jersey, they put a border around the entire rectangle, like a stitch around the rectangle. And you can create that stitch using like the I got a whole roll of it. You can get some thick plastic. Actually, this is what I recommend you guys do. Go to Home Depot and get that heavy duty thick plastic. As a little tip for you, go to Home Depot and get that heavy duty thick plastic, and it'll do the same as this what I got right here. Let me show you guys. I got a big roll of it. Let me go in my little stash right here and show you guys what I got. Got a big roll of this thick stuff that you can use to embroider. It's like a thick plastic. I would do 2 layers of this, and do a stitch on it. Let me show you guys. Let me switch cameras to show you guys real fast. All right. See, this is the stuff right here. I would do 2 layers of this on my. I don't know if the mic is picking me up. I do 2 layers of this on my hoop, whatever hoop I'm using, and then I would you know, stitch it on there. Use that to make my border, my zigzag stitch border. My loosely loose density, extreme loose density satin border around there, or zigzag border, whatever you want to call it, right? I would use that. So I've already went ahead and I cut this, but this right here is too wide for the jersey that I want to make. But so today I'm probably just gonna make the nameplate. Actually, I'll probably make the whole thing to go on to apply it on the jersey, go on with the video. So yeah, let me make something real fast. I'm gonna cut it out with my vinyl cutter, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing. So let me switch over here to the computer so you guys can actually see how you would set this up. All right, so we're gonna switch to, this is Leonardo Design Studio right here. All right, Leonardo Design Studio, and I have my A-Dubb Productions logo that I can cut out with the tackle tool right here. But I'm not at the studio right now that has my big embroidery machine with my 13 by 16 inch hoop, so I can't exactly make this because I only have access to an EM1010. My EM1010 hoop is actually 13 by what is it? 13 by 6? Yeah, 13 by 6 or 13 by 9, I forgot. And this right here is 13.5 inches wide. All right, so I can't use this one. So I'm gonna cut out a smaller one that's 12 inches. I'm gonna cut out a smaller one that's actually 10 inches. And let me show you guys what I got for that. So this is Caesar Leonardo Design Studio Pro. All right, so I got a tab over here called nameplates. And if I select one of them, you can see that this plate right here is 10 inches by 3.5 inches in height. All right, so that's, you would make your plate however wide and however tall you want, but just make sure it kind of like takes up the back, takes up a significant part of the back, just like on these jerseys right here. And make your plate whatever width and whatever height that you want, but just keep in mind this is 3.5 inches tall by 10 inch wide. And if I go over here to what I created, I made sure that each part of the name was 3 inches. So 3 inches can go inside the 3.5 inches, right? So it's a little bit spaced at the top, about a ½ inch at the top and quarter inch at the top and quarter inch at the bottom. So I should probably make these a little bit smaller since my plate is, let me see, my plate right here is 3.5 inches. So I should, this is 3 inches, so I should probably make this 2.5 inches so I can have a little bit more room at the top and the bottom, because all the jerseys, the professional jerseys, have a little bit of room on the top and the bottom, with the exception of the one that's embroidered. That one pretty much has no room, that much room at the top and at the bottom at all. But the rest of these that were like vinyl or like puff vinyl or screen print or screen printed transfers or DTF transfers, whatever method you want to use, they have more space at the top and at the bottom. So like we just discovered just by looking at these jerseys that there really are no rules. It depends on what company's making it. One year, I remember back in the day, they were using starter. Now they're using, I don't know, this NFL jersey, what does this have on it? They have at the bottom typically the company that's using, that's making them. Okay, it just says NFL. It just says NFL. All these jerseys just say NFL. I know sometimes they'll change, yeah, but the last few years, it just says NFL, NFL players. And on the tag it says NFL players. Yeah, so I guess the NFL has their own garment decorating department that's doing all their stuff now. Oh no, you know what? These are Nike. They say Nike on them. Yeah, these Nike is making the NFL stuff right now. All right, so before it was starter a few years, like years back. Years before that it was Mitchell and Ness. Or Mitchell and Ness is always making NFL stuff. So it varies between company to company. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and cut some stuff so you guys can see me cut some stuff. All right, so I'm going to So I don't want to cut this right now. I'm going to do this off camera, make this for myself off camera. All right, so I'm going to take one of these names right here. And as you guys can see, what do I have on? I have some white tackle tool on here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate it. All right, so let me rotate this real fast. Rotate it like this. Put this down here. And I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. Okay, so this is 3.5 inch tall by 10 inch wide, and this right here says 9.5 by 3 inch. So I can go ahead, just so it'll have a little bit of space on it, I can go ahead and I can make this 2.5 right here, enter, right? And I can go ahead and make this, since it's 10 inches wide, I'm gonna give it a little bit more room. All right, so I'm gonna make this about 8 inches wide, 8 inches wide. All right, so, all right, yeah, that looks good. I can make it a little bit smaller too, like height wise. Because these ones have a significant room. So I'm gonna make this, go ahead and make this 2 inches. All right, that looks better. That looks better to me. All right, I'm gonna do the same for this one right here. All right, so let me rotate that again. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And I'm gonna use the same settings for this one. All right, so I made this one 8 by 2. All right, so right here, I'm gonna type 2. And then I'm gonna repeat what I did and type 8. And that's it. So they're pretty much the same size. All right. And I just have a piece of vinyl on here, a piece of tackle tool rather. So I'm gonna select both. I'm gonna check my size. This is 4.3 for both of them, and by 8. And I know both of them will fit on my sheet. All right. And I am using a cutting mat on my vinyl cutter right now. So let's go ahead and let's see what we can come up with. All right. Let's just one more time, just make sure the size. I'm looking at the size, the numbers right here, and these same numbers appear over here, and I'm just checking to make sure they're the same amount of letters should take up the same amount of space. All right, so right now I'm gonna go ahead and send it to my vinyl cutter, and I do want to, no, I'm not gonna flip it because it's not vinyl. It's not vinyl that I'm cutting, it's tackle tool that I'm cutting. This tackle tool right here is iron-on tackle tool, so I can press it onto the garment. All right, onto the thing. All right, so let me go ahead and press. And I got these off the cutting mat. I'm gonna go ahead and press send right here. All right, and select artwork. Move each color to origin letter. Allow bleeding margin. Send. All right, that's exactly what it's gonna cut. And I'm gonna make it have 4 passes just to make sure I cut all the way through the vinyl right here. I don't need a weeding box. I don't need to mirror because it's not vinyl. If you're using vinyl, then you want to mirror and you want to make sure you cut on the opposite side that your mat is on, okay? The mat is the shiny sheet that the vinyl sticks to. So that's why you say shiny side down is the rule for vinyl. Shiny side down, and select mirror if you're using vinyl or brick vinyl or brick puff or whatever it is that you choose to use. All right, so I'm gonna send this to my vinyl cutter right here, my Caesar Romeo behind me, 4 passes, and I got it saying use the vinyl cutter's settings, and that's up to you to find the settings, but I'm gonna tell you guys what I have my settings on. After it's done cutting, I'm gonna tell you guys what I have my settings on. Okay, so here it is, starting to cut right now. Okay, yeah, it's going right. So it's gonna go over, you guys can, oh, sorry, still had it on the screen. You guys can see my vinyl cutter in the background cutting out the letters right there. It's moving. Let me see if I can get you guys a closer look, maybe. Like a little overexposed. I'm trying to do it over the shoulder shot right here. Let me try to straighten that out. Boom. See the Caesar Romeo here. Like this video if you like it. Like this video if you like what you're seeing, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, trying to show you guys some good stuff. I'll go ahead and do some more videos like this if you guys want to see some more methods. Like right now, I'm gonna do it real easy, just a real easy method to show you guys how this is done. All right, and like I said, it's doing 4 passes for each letter, so this is gonna take a little bit of time to cut. And I didn't do like I didn't do like a what am I trying to say? I forgot what I'm trying to say. I didn't do it. I could have changed the speed so it could go faster, but I like to run my vinyl cutter a little slower, more slower than faster, because you know I want accuracy. I want my letters to come out. I want my letters to cut off and come out real good, rather than to cut it slow. That's interesting that this camera, this hand camera right here, is kind of blinking a little bit. I don't know if that came across on camera, but yeah, this is my Caesar Romeo vinyl cutter. Those of you guys that are interested in that, the links will be attached in this video. I love this cutter. It cuts very smooth and very accurately, but don't think that you're limited just because you don't have one of these. You can do the same thing with your current vinyl cutter. Or how about this? How about if you don't have a vinyl cutter and you want to do something like this? How about let me know if you'd like me to offer a service where I cut your twill for you, or even maybe I cut your vinyl for you and I can mail you a weeded roll already, or a weeded vinyl of whatever you guys want to make on your jersey. Or I can sell what? I'm just thinking about all types of things I could do. I can actually make and send you your nameplate that you could just sew onto the back of the jersey. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna offer that as a service. I just made up a service right there on the fly, guys. All right, so it's done cutting. So let's go ahead and let us grab our vinyl off here. Check out what we got. Well, not vinyl, but our tackle tool. Let's see what we got. All right. I see right here, this one's kind of crooked. It cut off the bottom of my E, but it's good. All right, so look at this. I just started taking it off, and all my letters, look at this. All my letters are coming off with ease. This is the type of weed that you want, guys. You want your stuff to weed nice and easy, just like this. Just like that. So all my letters came off. All I gotta do is take off the inside of it, and I can go ahead and line this up with a ruler after I'm done. And if I peel this A right here, let me turn off the light, maybe that'll look better. All right, if I go ahead and peel this A right here, the inside of the A, just off, just like that, nice and easy. And that's how you want your stuff to weed. And you don't want to grab it, because it will fray the edges of the tackle tool. So you want to kind of like curve it like that, so when you take it off, you still got sharp edges like that. All right, still got sharp edges, because you want to keep those sharp edges. All right, so let me go ahead and finish taking this off right here. And then next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the nameplates. So I'm gonna go ahead and sit my letters, my sharply cut letters, to the side right here. So I got all of them. All right, boom. And then we're gonna create our nameplate. Got my W right here, man. Let me tell you something. But like I said, you guys don't need tackle tool for this. You can use vinyl if you want to. There is no rules. And the thing I like about vinyl that a lot of people sleep on is vinyl is actually really good. I saw a commercial running on social media saying the professionals are not using vinyl anymore. I think that's BS. And a lot of people don't realize about vinyl, that to me vinyl is very, very strong with, is, and I've said this before back in the day when I did a whole lot of vinyl videos, what people don't realize about vinyl is, with vinyl, if the letters start coming up after a few washes, what you can do is you can actually, because vinyl never goes away, but like ink can start fading and washing off. With vinyl, if you take it out of the washer or the dryer and your vinyl is slightly coming off, all you got to do is lay it down flat, because the vinyl's still there. Lay it down flat, put it on a heat press, and press it again, and it's good as new. That's the benefits of vinyl. When you got ink that starts coming off the graphic, there's nothing you can do. The ink is washed away. So that's one of the benefits of vinyl, and that's one of the benefits of tackle tool also. You can repress it back down, or you can use some E6000 or something like that. But a tackle tool is not gonna. It's the adhesive on the back of it is pretty darn good. All right, so now let me load up. Let me load up the material so I can cut my rectangles. All right, so let's go back to Leonardo design space. I'm gonna go back to design, and I'm gonna click on my nameplates. These nameplates right here. I'm gonna cut out. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out 4 of them. So let me grab my. I got this blue tackle tool right here. Let me select all of them so I can measure up. This is about 20 inches tall. Let me see how tall this is. Yeah, this is tall enough. Let me see how wide it is. It's 7. It's pretty much 8. So what I'm doing is I got my ruler right here, right? This is an 18-inch ruler. So I laid it across my tackle tool just to see how tall it is. And I know it's taller than 20 inches, so I know I can use it. And I know it's wider than 8 inches, so I can go ahead and put this inside of my vinyl cutter and use this to cut my rectangle. So let me go ahead and put it back in. Here. All right, and I'm gonna erase 2 of them because I just cut out 2 letters. So, matter of fact, let me just cut the 4 plates. Yeah, because I might need them for another thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the 4 plates. As you guys can see on my screen right here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and this right here, as you notice in the background right here, I did not put this on a cutting mat. So you want to make sure in your design space right here, cutting mat is not selected. I have just the artboard. All right, so if I was using a cutting mat, I would select the cutting mat and the size of the cutting mat, but I'm not using one. All right, but actually it says material roll. This is where you select cutting mat, and then this is where you select if you have a cutting mat or not. Right here I would select cutting mat if I was using cutting mat, but I'm not using a cutting mat, so I got material roll set up. And if you notice, when I click on cutting mat, a cutting mat appeared, and the way I would change the size of the cutting mat would be I would select this down here, all right, and select the size of the cutting mat that I had. All right, so I don't have a cutting mat, so material roll, and that goes away. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and send this to cut. Make sure it says artwork that fits on the page, and allow weeding. And if I go back, wait a minute, send next one. On the next screen, it's gonna say use cutter settings. And again, I'm gonna do 4 passes. All right, so let me go ahead and send it. Send. All right, contour kiss cut, return to start position after it's done. Go ahead and press send, and yes. All right, so now, simple cuts. Simple cuts. Boom. Show you guys with the camera again. Oh, aim right. There it goes, moving. Oh, I can't. Got this thing. There we go. 4 cuts for each. All right. It's hard to face the camera backwards and like get it center. It's like this brain thing. All right, I gotta hold it right there. All right, there we go. All right. I'm so confused. Is it going over the same spot again? I don't know. But I'm tired of holding that camera like that. It's weird. So, okay, that's the second one. It's cutting out the second one right now. And the reason why I'm doing 4 passes is so they can cut through the tackle to a really good, and it can also cut through the plastic as good as possible. All right. The carrier sheet. So it's cutting out 4 rectangles for us. All right. And so now what we would do in order to create that stitch is we would go into the digitizing software, and we would digitize 2 stitches. We would digitize a rectangle that's exactly the same size, and we digitize a satin stitch and give it a whole bunch of, or a zigzag stitch around. I'm going to show you guys how I do this. All right, because I got some software open right here. All right, I'm giving y'all a whole lot today. All right, so here we go. So we're in Chroma right now. All right, I digitize. You guys have seen me digitizing several different softwares throughout the life of this channel. All right, so let's go back to Chroma. Okay, so Chroma, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna select, okay. Let me see, hold on. Okay, select the shape right here. So I select the shape, and I'm gonna select a rectangle. I'm just gonna put a rectangle on here, right? And can't see the rectangle. I'm gonna go ahead and change the color of the rectangle so we can see it. Boom, all right, so there's a rectangle, select the rectangle. I'm going to, this is the thing with Chroma, you can't really, hold on. All right, so you can't really, it's easier to change the size of the rectangle after you digitize it, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on this, right? And I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and I'm gonna put convert to running, all right? That's gonna convert it to a running stitch. All right, now it's an embroidery stitch, all right? Now you can see the size up here. You can see the size of the running stitch up here. It's 2 by 7 wide, okay? So I'm gonna make it, let's go back to our other software, and we said this was 10 by 3.5, right? 10 by 3.5, that's what it says, 10 by 3.5. Go back to Chroma, so I'm gonna make this 10 inches wide. As I'm dragging this out right here, I'm looking at the number that's down here. Like watch down here, the numbers appear down here, right below the, so you see it's saying that it's 2 inches, 3 inches. Wow, this is really small. All right. So I zoomed out a little bit so I can get that 10 inches wide. All right. This is what Chroma is missing. You should be able to type it in, and that sucks that you can't type it in. It would be a lot easier if you typed it in. 3.5, let's get the 3.5 wide. Okay, this is 3.50 right here. All right, 3.50. All right, now let's get the 10. Let's drag from this side. Okay, that's 10.5, 10 point. All right, right here, 10.1. I want it to be 10 on a dot. So in order for me to 10 on a dot, I gotta like zoom in a little bit so I can get it more accurate. All right, so 10 on a dot right there. All right, so up here you can see it's 10 on a dot by 3.50. 10 on a dot by 3.50. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this. Command C, Command V. So now I got 2 running stitches right here. I'm gonna take the 1 running stitch, all right, and this running stitch right here I want to make kind of loose. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to, because this is tight right now, I'm gonna stitch length. I'm gonna put the stitch length like 5, so it's like really loose. And watch what happens. See, it's currently 463 stitches. When I make it loose, apply, the stitch count reduced because I made the stitches really loose. All right, real time view so you can see that. If I make a real time view, you can actually see the stitches, see the dots a little bit. See the dots a little bit. Now, what I'm gonna do with the other one, it's the other one right here. Wait, is this the other one? Yeah, because this one is 5 and this one is 3. So I'm gonna convert to and I'm going to convert that to a satin or a steel. Which one do I want to convert it to? I'm going to convert that to a steel stitch. No, let me convert it to a satin stitch. Okay, so it's now a steel stitch. All right, so with the steel stitch, it's way too dense. So I'm going to reduce the density way down. So the density is currently 40. To make less density, you gotta put the number up, and it's gonna loosen up the stitches. So I'm gonna put it on like 1.0, 1.00. You would think that I'm increasing the density, but watch what happens when I apply it. Apply it. See how loose it is? I'm gonna make it like 4, so it's nice and loose. 4, okay? But I'm gonna take off the underlay right here. Boom, and you see what type of zigzag stitch we got. All right, I'm gonna let me see something. Now I'm just playing around with it to see what effect that I like better, whether I like this zigzag stitch or if I want to convert it to a satin stitch, or I convert the satin stitch. Let's see what happens. Okay, no, we don't want that. No, I meant to. I was going between. I was going between, what is it called? A steel stitch or a classic satin stitch. All right, so this looks okay to me. I mean, it's not the best, but and what else I could do is I want to make it a little bit wider so I can make sure I get the edges. So I'm gonna make it a little bit wider now with the width. You do raise up the number with the width. So I'm gonna put it to like 5. All right. To make sure it grabs the edges of my satin stitch, of my running stitch. All right, so now that I have both of my stitches, I can go ahead and select both of them. And I can go ahead and I can align them. Wait, I'm gonna go align. So one on top of the other. So to make sure on the machine that it stops, I'm gonna have to color these different colors. So I'm gonna make one blue and the other one black. But on the machine, you can make it whatever color you want. But what making them different colors does is it enables me to, on my machine, when I load up this DST, it'll let me create a stop after the running stitch. So the running stitch is going to serve as my placement stitch. It's going to embroider. When I put the DST in my machine, it's going to ask me to program the colors. Now I made it 2 colors because if I would have kept it all one color, it would have only let me select one color and I couldn't put a stop. I couldn't program a stop on my machine. So I changed it to 2 colors. So now I can load up the DST and select the colors. Now after the first color, I'm gonna program a stop. So it stops after it does the rectangle. I'm gonna place my thing down, right, on top of it. And then I'm going to let it do the next stitch over top of that. All right. Got this out. So this is after I've applied the name on here. Get it? You guys following? I hope you guys are following. All right. So that did not cut through the plastic. It didn't cut all the way through. That's okay. That's okay. It didn't cut all the way through. That's all right. That's all right. All right. So what I'm gonna do now is I have to go ahead and I have to hoop up 2 pieces of plastic. I'm gonna hoop up 2 pieces of plastic. I didn't plan on doing all of this, so but let me yeah, I might as well do the whole thing. So this is like a long video. All right, I'm gonna stop the video right here because it's long enough, but I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video. I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah, I'll make a part 2. But you guys pretty much know what to do. You take 2 pieces of that stuff, loop it around, hoop it, embroider the rectangle. It's gonna stop because you're gonna program a stop. Then you're gonna put your rectangle on top of that, places exactly where it's at, where it's supposed to be exactly, and then it's gonna do the zigzag stitch. All right. So there's no wrong way to do it. Like you can either you can stitch the letters onto this first, or you can press your vinyl onto this first, and then you can apply it, right? Because you gotta make this first. You gotta make this first. That's right. That's what we're doing. We're making this first. We're not even attaching it. Attaching this with a single stitch to the last piece. So right now, this step is just putting on that zigzag stitch to make it look nice. All right, so let me cut the video. Let me go make that. You guys probably want to see that, don't you? All right, I'm gonna make a different video. I'm gonna make a part 2 of this the following day. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna end the video right here. If this video gets 1,000 views in the next 24 hours, then I will make a second part to this. If it doesn't, then I'm not gonna make the second part. All right, so and I'll actually make the second part, but I'll put it only for my subscribers, only for the people that are subscribed to my channel. Actually, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think is best. I'll tell you what, if it gets 1,500 views in 24 hours, I will just upload that part 2. I'll make and upload the part 2. If it doesn't get 1,500 views in the next 24 hours, then I'm still gonna upload the part 2, but it's gonna be only for members of the channel. All right, so yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And by what I showed you guys should be able to figure out the rest really, really easy using whatever method that you want. I think that this is good enough. Let me know what you think, and let's cross our fingers and hope we get 1,500 views in the next 24 hours so I can upload and make it public to everybody the next part of the video, the embroidery part, all right? But if not, then it's gonna be, I'll upload it anyway, but it's gonna be for members of the channel only. Do me a favor, guys. If you watched this video and made it all the way through, comment game in the comment section. If you watched this video, comment GAME game in the comment section. I'm doing this because I just want to see who's watching the videos all the way through in its entirety. Comment game in the description of this video, in the comments of this video, if you watched all the way through, okay? And don't forget, DTF transfers, AlanAwade.com. Merch, AlanAwade.com. I'll talk to you guys on the next video. And let me know if it's a good idea to offer these nameplates as a service that I offer, or if you want to just buy a whole jersey with your name on it in whatever color you want in the comments down below. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right? Peace.